Welcome to Asian Spirit Tales, where ghost stories and ancient Asian legends come alive. If you enjoy mysteries, spirits, and spooky tales, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. Thanks to all ghost fans for your support. The spirits are watching, and so are we. Ma Ngwe Taung, the spirit of the Silver Hill, based on true legend from Mon State, Myanmar. In a quiet village nestled near the green hills of Mon State, during the early years of British colonial rule in Burma, lived a young woman named Ma Ngwe. People respected her grace and simplicity. Children adored her, and elders blessed her for her obedience and devotion. Her parents, modest rice farmers, dreamed of a good marriage for her, one that would bring honor to their family. Suitors came and went, but Ma Ngwe remained unmoved. Her heart was untouched until the arrival of a stranger changed everything. A stranger in uniform. One hot season, British officers were sent to a nearby town to oversee a colonial post. Among them was a young officer named Edward Campbell, a man tall, fair-skinned, and fluent in charm. When he arrived in Ma Ngwe's village, the foreigner caused a stir. Locals were cautious, but curious. Edward often walked through the village market, smiling, tipping his hat, buying handmade crafts. It was during one of those strolls that Edward first saw Ma Ngwe, helping an elderly woman with her basket. Their eyes met, and something stirred. At first, they exchanged only polite nods. Then came greetings. Then moments stolen by the river's edge. He was drawn to her kindness, her quiet confidence. She was enchanted by his worldliness, his tales of distant lands, and his words of love wrapped in promises. Despite warnings from her parents and neighbors, he is not one of us. Ma Ngwe believed in his heart. Their love blossomed in secret, like a lotus beneath still waters. Edward swore to marry her, even spoke of taking her to his homeland. He gave her a silver ring, whispering, "No matter what happens, this means you are mine." But not all that shines is true silver. A broken promise. Months passed. The monsoon came and went. Ma Ngwe waited patiently, holding on to dreams and Edward's every word. But as time went on, she noticed changes. His visits became rare, his letters shorter, whispers in the village grew louder. Then one day, Edward vanished. No farewell, no explanation, only silence. She learned, through a distant trader, that Edward had returned to his country, assigned elsewhere. Worse, rumors said he had a wife waiting back home. Ma Ngwe, now pregnant, was left with nothing but shame, tears, and a silver ring that burned her skin. Her parents, disgraced, cast her out. Villagers turned their backs. She wandered the outskirts of the village, alone and broken. The very people who once smiled now spat curses. With her belly growing and her heart bleeding, Ma Ngwe found herself exiled not only from society, but from hope. The Hill of Sorrow. There was one place left where Ma Ngwe could cry freely, a small hill outside the village where the wind carried no judgment, and the moon saw all without speaking. It was there she spent her last days, crying into the earth, clutching the silver ring like a curse. On a night when the clouds hid the stars and thunder rumbled like grief, Ma Ngwe climbed the hill one last time. Witnesses said they heard a scream, long, high, and heart-wrenching, echoing through the valley. Then silence. At dawn, a farmer found her body at the foot of the hill, still and cold, her hair spread like a black river around her.
In her hand was the silver ring, now twisted and broken. They buried her there, on the hill. No ceremony, no prayers. Only the wind mourned her. The spirit awakes. Not long after her death, strange things began to happen. Travelers climbing the hill heard sobbing in the mist. Some saw a woman in white standing among the trees, her hair long, her face pale, her eyes full of sorrow. Men who had betrayed women were said to vanish after visiting the area. Others returned shaken, saying a soft voice whispered in their ears, "You made a promise. Why did you lie?" It wasn't long before the villagers realized Ma Ngwe had not passed into peace. She had become a gnat, a spirit of sorrow, betrayal, and quiet justice. Women, especially those mistreated or abandoned, began visiting the hill to pray. They left offerings of flowers, rice cakes, and silver trinkets, begging for protection or perhaps understanding. Her shrine was built, small and humble, beneath a tamarind tree. The air around it always felt cool, no matter how hot the day. Fear and reverence. Ma Ngwe's spirit was not always gentle. Stories spread. A young man who mocked his lover disappeared after laughing near her shrine. A soldier who bragged about using village girls collapsed with fever and saw visions of a woman pointing at him in rage. At the same time, many women claimed that Ma Ngwe's spirit saved them from abusive husbands, from loneliness, from suicide. They said she came to them in dreams, offering a gentle smile and a hand to hold. Ma Ngwe Taung became both a symbol of fear and faith, a reminder of the price of betrayal and the enduring strength of a woman's heart. Even today, even now, the hill stands quietly in mown state. Locals avoid it at night, especially men who carry guilt in their hearts. Women still climb it with incense and flowers. Some swear they feel a hand on their shoulder when they cry too long. Some say they hear lullabies in the breeze. She is no longer just Ma Ngwe. She is Ma Ngwe Taung, the guardian of the heartbroken, the whisper in the storm, the spirit of the Silver Hill. So, if you ever walk near that place, and the wind grows cold, and you see a woman in white watching you from the trees, don't run, don't lie, and remember the name of the woman who loved too deeply. Ma Ngwe Taung has not forgotten.